and he said, "Sarah, we are in this together." Overwhelmed with emotion and speechless, I just hugged him with tears in my eyes and a grateful heart for our heroes who keep us free. That young man and everyone who has served before him, all of those who serve alongside him, and the thousands we know who will be called upon to serve after him, deserve to know they have a country and a community back home doing our part in the fight for freedom. America is great because we are free. But today, our freedom is under attack, and the America we love is in danger. President Biden and the Democrats have failed you, and it's time for a change. A new generation of Republican leaders are stepping up, not to be caretakers of the status quo, but to be change makers for the American people. We know not what the future holds, but we know who holds the future in his hands. And with God as our witness, we will show the world that America is still the place where freedom reigns and liberty will never die. Thank you. God bless you. And God bless America.
Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders with the rebuttal from the Republican side.
From the State House in Arkansas, where she is, as she pointed out, the youngest governor in America, right. And then mentioned that President Biden is the oldest president we've ever had.
Fitting with her theme that there is a new generation, she believes, of conservative leadership, and really leaning into some of those so-called culture war issues, denouncing the woke left, as she put it, and drawing a distinction between normal and crazy, which, depending on which side of the aisle you sit on, you might have a different perspective on which one is which. All of it in contrast to President Biden's speech, where he did not lean quite so much into some of those hot-button culture war topics.
All right, Hallie, thank you. That is going to do it for our special coverage of President Biden's State of the Union address, as well as the Republican response.
Of course, we will have continuing coverage tonight with Chuck and Kristen. They're on NBC News Now, as well as tomorrow morning, bright and early on Today, and tomorrow evening, Lester will be there, NBC Nightly News.
Emphasis on you, early. Thank you for joining us. For all of us here at NBC News, good night.
Get the latest news on the weekends with Newswatch 12. Saturday and Sunday at 10 with your weekend news team. Kyle Pazorski, Mohammed Abdul-Kawi, and Conrad Sapinski. Newswatch 12.
On our broadcast tonight, President Biden addressed Congress for a State of the Union address. We'll have a recap of what he discussed. Plus, a man in Antigo was convicted of killing his mother. We'll hear what this means. And nearly a dozen people were rescued after being trapped on an ice floe. We'll have the details as your local news starts right now.
Newswatch 12 with Jessica Jukic and Jeff Weller.
Good evening and welcome to Newswatch 12 at 10. I'm Jessica Jukic. President Joe Biden addressed a joint session of Congress tonight in his second State of the Union address. It comes as negotiations are deadlocked in Congress on whether to raise the debt ceiling, with House Speaker Kevin McCarthy calling directly on him to limit spending. Many experts see the address as an unofficial starting point to Biden's expected campaign to seek a second term in office for the man who is already the oldest to ever serve as president. One major theme on his agenda is to court Republican lawmakers on working together instead of fighting.
I think the people sent us a clear message. Fighting for the sake of fighting, power for the sake of power, conflict for the sake of conflict gets us nowhere. That's always been my vision of our country, and I know it's many of yours. To restore the soul of this nation, to rebuild the backbone of America, America's middle class, and to unite the country.
COVID-19 was only a brief talking point in Biden's speech, meant to highlight his success after the nation emerged from lockdown with a strong economy. But the pandemic also serves as a launching pad for Biden to address people who have been left behind despite massive job growth and push his economic plan aimed at helping them. President Biden also discussed banning assault weapons and his plans to veto the national abortion ban. Jeff, I've enjoyed this warmer weather. What's in store for us tomorrow?
Well, temperatures back up in the mid, even upper 30s today. We're going for low 40s tomorrow. You ready for that? Let's go outside now and check on temperatures. In fact, here we are with temperatures hanging out in the upper 30s to low 40s for highs today. That's not where we are right now. We've cooled off back below freezing, but overall a nice night tonight. The average low temperature about 3 or 4 degrees this time of year. We're going to hang out in the teens to low 20s, which is where we sit currently in Rhinelander at 22, 27 for Merrill. So overall, it's kind of comfortable outside right now for early parts of February. Okay, so lots of clear skies across the region today. We like that sunshine. We'll get a full day of sunshine tomorrow, over 10 hours of sunshine tomorrow. But then some changes are on the way. There's some things over here. There's some energy there and some moisture there. They're going to come together and make a pretty good storm system across the Midwest tomorrow night into Thursday. That's going to travel to our south. So traveling south on Thursday, likely some good snow from Milwaukee, Green Bay, Chicago. But up this way, we may get by with a couple of flurries or so on Thursday afternoon. Already, though, winter storm watches posted for parts of central Wisconsin. Those will go through Thursday afternoon. Our forecast then for tonight, though, is mostly clear skies and temperatures down near 16. Your full forecast is coming up. Jessica.
Jurors convicted Derek Goplin of first-degree intentional homicide Monday night in Antigo. It was the first homicide case in 33 years in the city of Antigo. During the week-long jury trial, the prosecution made the case that Goplin intentionally killed his mother, Susan Reese, on Halloween 2021. Jurors believe Goplin was not acting in self-defense when he stabbed his mother 11 times. Goplin and his 5-year-old child then took Reese's car, debit card, and checkbook to Waukesha. A Czech welfare call came into Antigo police the morning of November 1st, and officers discovered the murder scene. Antigo Police Chief Dan Dooley explained how the case was handled.
The department is well trained, and we have several officers that have done added training in death investigations.
That training is important as officers are expected to adhere to evidence standards that will hold up during court arguments. Arguments in this case relating to evidence included law enforcement's handling of the situation.
It's not a common thing that we deal with often, but the guys they're trained and they're prepared and ready to deal with those situations if they come up and handle them properly.
Goplin is currently in the Langlade County Jail and is awaiting his sentencing hearing. Wisconsin is seeing an alarming rise in cases of toxic shock syndrome. Since July, the state has had 5 reports of toxic shock syndrome, or TSS. 4 cases were associated with superabsorbency tampons that were used by teenage girls. That's according to the State Department of Health Services. No deaths have been reported so far, but it is part of a concerning trend for the state. The last time multiple cases were reported in a year was 12 years ago. DHS is encouraging Wisconsinites to speak with teens about the proper use of tampons. The state agency is also urging healthcare providers and parents to watch out for early TSS symptoms like sudden fever, vomiting, seizures, and headaches in teenage girls. Today, Governor Tony Evers announced the state's proposed budget will send 20% of the state's sales tax revenue back to local communities. The proposal means more than $500 million per year in new resources will be invested into local communities for key priorities like local health services, fire departments, law enforcement services, and other to address other challenges facing communities like PFAS. Public safety aid will make up 43% of the total funds available under that new budget. The remaining 53.6% of the aid will be distributed as general aid, with 70% allocated to municipalities and 30% to counties. Details regarding the distribution to each local government and state will be available at the time of the governor's budget address. Governor Tony Evers approved a $14 million improvement in Marathon County. Governor Evers signed a $12.4 million contract to improve Highway 29 between Marathon County E and Marathon County H in Edgar. Crews will repair concrete pavement on Highway 29 eastbound where it has deteriorated. They will also resurface the asphalt shoulders between County E and State 97. The project is expected to begin in April. Governor Evers also signed a $1.7 million contract to improve Highway 29 between County Y and County D. That will begin in July. The U.S. Coast Guard responded to a call of 11 people, including 5 children, trapped on ice floes that broke away from Door County shoreline Monday. One group of 9 people floated away on one piece of ice in the Bay of Green Bay, 3/4 of a mile off Sherwood Point, after the ice became detached. 2 others were found floating on another piece a 1/4 mile from Sherwood Point. Jason Zimmerman has the details.
Among those needing to be pulled from the ice Monday afternoon on the Bay of Green Bay was Gabriel Blindu, a fisherman from Michigan, who tells us it was his friends who began yelling to get his attention.
As we were fishing, we could hear how it was cracking, but at one point it was like a really loud crack, and I didn't really like put it, I didn't really care at the moment. I was just kind of trying to catch fish. But then they started screaming like, open water, and I guess they're starting to panic because it was, getting bigger and bigger out there. It was pretty close to us.
What happened next was a series of 911 calls and a joint rescue effort between the Door County Sheriff's Department, DNR, and U.S. Coast Guard. Officials say the group of 11 was divided between 2 separate pieces of ice, which broke off and began to drift.
We took the boat from Potawatomi State Park out to Sherwood Point, got the people that were furthest, and then we made our way back in. And we met up with a group that was closer. That was a group of about 9 people. They were just happy that we were on scene and there to get them.
Those who were stranded kept in touch with emergency dispatchers the entire time. Many are now thankful to be on dry land.
They kept on calling us back to check in, but we heard sirens come pretty quickly, probably 15, 20 minutes. We heard them from the distance coming, and then the firefighters came, and they came with the boat to make sure we were all right, and then the other 2 rafts came, and they got us.
One county has the highest rate of suicide in the state. In tonight's episode of Feel Great Today, we're discussing the warning signs of suicide and the resources available to help. After weather with Jeff.
When we designed the all-new Honda Pilot Trail Sport, we made it adventure ready. With features like off-road tuned suspension, an enhanced all-wheel drive system, all-terrain tires, and Trail Watch, so you can blaze new trails. The all-new Pilot Trail Sport, the most off-road capable Honda SUV ever.
Right now is absolutely the best time of year to buy furniture, and Slumberland Furniture is the best place during our huge President's Sale. Come see our special offers throughout the store. Plus, special financing is available for convenient monthly payments. And did you know Slumberland offers custom fabrics and colors at no extra charge? Check out this gorgeous sectional, and it comes with a free ottoman. Plus, so much more during our huge President's Sale at Slumberland Furniture.
Spectrum presents The Download with Clarissa.
Everyone is talking about Spectrum One. Matt, give us a download.
Clarissa, people are switching because Spectrum is offering seamless connectivity with Spectrum Internet, advanced Wi-Fi, and unlimited mobile.
That's the future of connectivity. That's Spectrum One.
Switch to Spectrum One and get 300 megabit internet for $49.99 a month, plus free advanced Wi-Fi and 1 free line of unlimited mobile. Call 1-833-883-4999.
What's unique about Spectrum Internet?
Spectrum Internet has the most consistent download speeds and no data caps.
How secure is the Wi-Fi?
The advanced Wi-Fi comes with enhanced privacy and security features that block online threats.
Why is Spectrum Mobile the fastest growing mobile provider?
Spectrum Mobile is super reliable, and it includes 5G nationwide.
Plus unlimited calls, texts, and
data.
Switch to Spectrum One and get 300 megabit internet for $49.99 a month, plus free advanced Wi-Fi and 1 free line of unlimited mobile. Call 1-833-883-4999.
Call now or visit a Spectrum store today.
Well, this was fun. High temperatures, mid-30s to low 40s across the area today. Tomorrow, most of us in the low 40s once again. So we'll get some large puddles across the area as the snow is now melting. Okay, right now, though, we're back below freezing. 22 here in Rhinelander, 28 for Mosinee, 26 for Medford. So the puddles are refreezing out there tonight. Still, there will be a couple slippery spots by tomorrow morning. But generally, the cold air is now retreated far away up near Hudson Bay up there. And if we keep that that there for a while, which we're expected to do. We're going to have above average temperatures not just this week, but next week. So overall, a warm trend now coming our way. We're going to melt some snow, melt some ice. Already some trails are closing in anticipation of warmer temperatures on the way. So here we are in early February, right? Going forward, though, 41 for tomorrow, 34 for Thursday, a bit colder for Friday, but then right back up again. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, mid, even upper 30s. That's not normal. Average high being about 25 or so. We're going to be above that for a while going forward. And most likely long-range trends take us into the end of next week temperature-wise. And it looks like temperatures like this will likely stick around for a while. Okay, so lots of clear skies out there today. That felt good, didn't it? The sunshine was gorgeous out there, lots of blue skies. But there is some stuff going on. Off to the west of us, some things going on here. There is a system there and some moisture there. That's going to be our next snowmaker across Wisconsin. Now, it's likely going to take a southern track, meaning move across Chicago. On that track, the heavy snow likely fall from Green Bay back toward the Madison area, back into Iowa. We'll be on the northern edge of that, and likely just a few flurries or light snow showers around here on Thursday. And then back behind that, there is another one. So a very active storm pattern right now. But the first one is Thursday, and that'll likely give us some snow showers across the state. Now, there is a chance this could move back over to the west just a bit. I don't think it's going to do that. We could get through Thursday with just some flurries and light snow. If you're traveling south, though, Green Bay south, Milwaukee south, Madison south, looking at a pretty good snow system there. Could be in excess of 6 inches of snow across central and southern parts of the state on Thursday. Thus, this is a winter storm watch posted today for these areas, including Adams County. It'll likely be expanded in some capacity tomorrow, but overall, the heaviest snow with this system on Thursday will be south of the Northwoods on Thursday. If you're traveling south, though, likely some issues there. Okay, our forecast then for tonight, though, looking at clear skies, low temperatures down near 16, with a southwest breeze around 5 to 10. For tomorrow, all right, here we are in mid-February, lots of sunshine, high temperatures near 41, with a west wind around 5 to 10. And then looking ahead, your 7-day forecast by Northwest Furniture and Mattress shows 41 tomorrow. That light snow kind of flurry thing in here on Thursday, not really a big deal at all. Friday, we're quiet, coldest day of the week, 27. And then there's the weekend again. We're talking 30s, mid-30s on Sunday with plenty of sunshine. Jessica?
Thank you, Jeff. The Pentagon says China refused a conversation with U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin after the downing of a suspected Chinese spy balloon. U.S. firefighter jets shot down the balloon Saturday afternoon. The Defense Department says immediately afterward, it submitted a request for a call between Austin and China's Minister of National Defense, but China declined it. China maintains the vessel was a weather balloon thrown off course, but it did offer a rare expression of regret over it. In a news conference Monday, China's foreign ministry said the U.S. should return the balloon debris because it does not belong to the U.S. The Biden administration is once again taking aim at the controversial immigration policy known as Title 42. It was put in place during the Trump administration to prevent migrants from entering the U.S. because of the ongoing health emergency brought on by the pandemic. Lawyers for the Justice Department told the Supreme Court on Tuesday Title 42
Feel great today
will become moot when the coronavirus public health emergency ends in May. President Biden announced last week his intention to end the public health emergency. Supporters of Title 42 have argued in court the policy should remain in place. Data shows that every year suicide is a leading cause of death, but one local Wisconsin county has the highest rates in the state. In tonight's edition of Feel Great Today, we're talking about identifying the warning signs of suicide and how to help.
Feel Great Today with Jessica Jukic.
Some of the warning signs for suicidal ideation are extreme fatigue, warning signs such as giving away prized possessions, a shift in mood. So somebody who is kind of happy or the class clown, all of a sudden more irritable or in frustration.
The CDC says one person dies from suicide every 11 minutes in the U.S. Vilas County has the second highest suicide rate throughout Wisconsin. The highest rate of suicide in the nation are white men between the ages of 45 and 54 years old.
So when we think about suicide, we also think about risk factors. So those are individuals who, for example, have a history of mental illness. They may have had a suicide attempt, or there's one within the family.
Heidi Pritzel is a licensed social worker with the Spires Kohler Behavioral Health Clinic. She is also a co-lead for the Northwoods Cope Coalition. Pritzel teaches people suicide prevention training called QPR. It stands for Question, Persuade, and Refer.
Listening to others is so powerful, but if we are asking the question, we don't want to shame someone. We want to ask open-ended questions, see if they are thinking about suicide, and asking it directly to lower that anxiety and give them a safe space to talk about it.
After some questions, Pritzel says to persuade them to seek help and refer them to a specialist.
It gives you the tools to ask the question in the way that's most fitting for that individual.
The Crisis Lifeline 988 is available 24/7 for anyone needing to talk.
For anybody listening today who may have lost somebody to suicide, this is not to go back and rewrite history. This is just to understand what those warning signs and risk factors are to prevent another suicide from happening.
Next Tuesday night, we'll be talking about Valentine's Day blues and what people can do if they're struggling with the loss of a loved one. Coming up, Rhinelander's boys basketball team was looking to upset the top team in the Great Northern Conference. Serenity Douglas will explain if they could do it, plus we'll have some highlights from the GNC hockey tournament semifinals.
Serving in Afghanistan, I was hit by sniper fire, and I was given a 5% chance to live. It's a good thing math wasn't my best subject. Today, I visit classrooms and share my story. I tell kids that with a little help and a lot of work, that you can overcome any challenge.
DAV helps veterans like Adam get the benefits they've earned. They help more than 1 million veterans every year.
My victory is being there for the next generation.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
It's Auto Show. The deals start now, and so should you. Get started on your next Ford SUV, like Bronco, Explorer, or the new Escape. Get here to get a deal on the SUV's #1 in brand loyalty. It's Auto Show. The deals start now, and so should you. During Auto Show, choose FlexBuy on Escape, Edge, or Explorer with 3.9% APR financing for 66 months plus 1,000 Auto Show cash.
The unknown is not empty. It's a storm that crashes and consumes, replacing thought with worry. But one thing can calm uncertainty: an answer. Uncovered through exploration, teamwork, and innovation. An answer that leads to even more answers. Mayo Clinic. You know where to go.
'Cause all that I want is for you to be happy. Give me a chance to show that you can be. Well, open your eyes and you'll see the way I see. 'Cause all that I want is for you to be happy with me.
Coming up, we'll be joined by the Alpine ski team and their upcoming races.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. And also some warmer temperatures on the way for your Wednesday. How does 40 sound? More when you tune in on your Wednesday from 5 to 7 a.m.
Rhinelander boys hockey is feeling good after their win over Ashland. But Mosinee is at home, and they're also coming off of a win against Medford, winning that game 13-0. So they're coming in hot and mighty. It's the #3 team against the #2 in the Great Northern Conference. We're starting in the first period. That's Swinderski going for it, but it is caught by Kimmerling. Next, that's Dalton Frentz setting it up and shooting, but it's blocked by Aiden Karts. No points on the board, and they're going head-to-head. The Hodags hungry for a goal. Sam Schneider shoots, but it's blocked again. It's a block party. They're facing off again. Joey Bellinger knocks it on the rim and won't get it. The Hodags just weren't able to get it done, ultimately losing to Mosinee 3-0. Let's move on to another semifinals matchup. Lakeland Union hosting Anago at the Lakeland Ice Center. Here in the first period, Lakeland Union almost scores first with this shot from Jack Rubo, but it's blocked by Nolan Bunnell and cleared out. The T-Birds kept firing, though. Aaron wants a goal, but Boonell says ain't gonna happen and stuffs this shot, too. Later that period, Rubo trying to score, but every way possible, even sneaking it. But Boonell was a brick wall tonight. However, he didn't pitch a shutout. Lakeland Union wins the faceoff, and Aiden Thiessen has a breakaway. He goes 5-hole to get the goal, and Lakeland Union advances to the conference championship with a 5-1 win. Let's move on from the ice to the hardwood. Lakeland Union girls basketball team is undefeated in the Great Northern Conference. They took on Tomahawk today, who was looking to get their first win in the GNC. In order to do that, the Hatchets will have to shock the Northwoods and take out the top dogs at Lakeland Union. Let's see if the Hatchets could pull off the upset of the year and stun the T-Birds on the road. Here in the first half, the all-time leader in career steals in the state did just that. Juliana Wamette with the scoop and score for 2. And the T-Birds are on the board. But Tomahawk wouldn't go down without a fight. Kiana Vaco pulls up the top and drains it for the Hatchets to put them on the board. Later that half, Christiana Wamette running the floor, and she's drawing up some great passes for the T-Birds. That ends up with Juliana draining the 3-ball. This one was all Lakeland, as the fabulous T-Birds are going on to win it, 84-31. Moving back to Mosinee, we had Northland Pines facing off with Mosinee girls. Starting in the first half, Britt Fitzgerald scores the free throw, and great offensive work from Gabby Munoz, who will recover it and score. Jersley's headed down court. She'll pass to Caitlin Selly for another Mosinee 2-pointer. Jersley again. She lays it up nice, and Pines can't hang. It's now 16-5. Caitlin Selly with the 2-dribble and shoot combination for a goal. An assist to Emily Rotier Duangamala, who will score a beauty of a 3. But Caitlin Selly got another 2-pointer done and secures a win for Mosinee and their senior night with a nice score of 72-35. Let's move on over to the boys' side, where the Hodags are looking to take on the GNC leading Medford Raiders at home. Here in the second half, Will Quinn running the floor, and he finds James Heck down low for a heck of a basket for 2 points. Later that half, check out this pass from Jordan Laguerre going up and under the Medford defenders to find Heck for another heck of a bucket. Let's check in with Medford's all-time leading scorer, Logan Bungarder. Yep, still got it. He drains the 3-ball right here to extend the Raiders' lead. Later that half here, he is again going over the Hodag defenders to get the bucket and the win. Medford stays undefeated in the conference play after taking down the Hodags 64-42.